Hello everyone, I'm Dan Philgreen, and this is Shell Point Today for the weekend of August 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. On today's show, we'll get a preview of an upcoming Health Connection presentation on osteoporosis. But first, an announcement. Our regular DVD movie showings of classic and contemporary movies here on the property are always a fun time. But for a change, how about dinner and a movie at a real movie theater? Today is your chance as a group is heading out to the Bell Tower Shops and Theater. The hosting staff will be dining at the Blue Point Oyster Bar, but there are other options available if you're craving Mexican or Italian food. Or if you'd rather shop than eat, you can do that too. Then arrangements will be made to transport residents from the dining area to the theater, where you can choose to see any movie that begins before 7:30 p.m. Cost for transportation is $7, with the dinner and movie on your own. Court pickups start at 4:15 p.m. Return time will be approximately 10:15 p.m. Now, Mary Franklin is here with Shell Point pharmacist Adu-Sarkodie to preview an upcoming Health Connection presentation on osteoporosis.
Osteoporosis affects many older adults, and Adu-Sarkodie, our Shell Point PharmD, will be in the Social Center on Friday, August 29th at 1:15 to discuss this topic. Yao, thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Mary.
Well, you're going to cover this topic of osteoporosis, and it's interesting because at the very onset, there's no symptoms. What should someone be looking for?
Risk factors. Being born Caucasian is one risk factor. Female, often older than 65.
Okay.
We've acquired so much knowledge these days that we know those risk factors can put a person at risk, so you get a test immediately.
Okay, good. And that test is a bone density test, and I've heard that often, but what should one expect if they go get a bone density test?
The bone density test, there are quite a few, but the most popular one now is the DEXA, dual energy absorptiometry. And what they use is X-ray to read how much mineral or calcium there is in the bone. And 2.5 or less means you may need some help.
Okay, so you really want to get a baseline going once you've hit around 65 or after menopause for ladies, and really have a baseline there, because you don't want to wait until you fall.
That's right.
Right, and we want to reduce as many falls as we can. So if you get diagnosed, is there a couple of different treatment options? I know, throughout your life you should be lifting weights and eating right. That helps. But right. Once you're diagnosed, is there other options?
Yes, there are. Based on the level of demineralization, calcium supplements, vitamin D supplements always come in play. And you can do those in diet, activities, stop drinking heavily, smoking has to go, but those are like high lifestyle adjustments.
Okay.
The rest of it is, the good thing about treatment here, it can be threefold, or it can give us three advantages. It can be preventive, inhibitory, or just symptomatic.
Okay.
We don't always want to do the symptomatic treatment, but we can prevent it, or at least slow down the progression of the disease.
Okay.
And there are oral medications, estrogen replacements, vitamin D supplements in the injectable or the oral forms. And then we have these other medications called the biphosphonates that actually can suppress the resorption of calcium. Therefore, it can go into the bone and rebuild. Yes.
Okay. Well, this will be an interesting topic because it can affect, as we said at the beginning, men and women. Even though we hear about the women more often, it affects both. And every time you and I get together and have the pleasure of doing this, it always seems like what comes back to taking care of yourself, exercising, eating right, getting out and being active.
Exactly.
But then there are other options out there for support to go right along with those
Exactly.
things.
That's when the medical practitioners, healthcare professionals come in. There's so much an individual can do. You can even go out and get the education and the information. So with prescription drugs, the doctor prescribes that, but you're going to need to know, how do you take it? How does it work? So then the pharmacist can discuss that with you. You get the education and what your choices are, or the options.
Right.
There are injectable drugs. Not everybody wants that. There are oral medications. And how much, even the over-the-counter calciums and vitamin Ds, how much do you need to take, or how much, is enough? So,
and you don't want it to interact with other things that you're taking.
Exactly.
So that's where you come in, and you will be sharing all of your knowledge, and he is a walking pharmacy encyclopedia, folks. So sign up for this presentation on Friday, August 29th at 1:15 in the Social Center. You can sign up at either of the service desk. I'm Mary Franklin along with Yao today. Make it a happy and healthy day.
Coming up, we are going to replay some of the best stories from earlier this week on Shell Point Today. But before we do that, let's cover all the weekend's happenings, menus, and church news.
Hi, I'm Jill Aldrink, and I'm here with Bev Chandley. Welcome to the weekend edition of Shell Point Happenings. We will start our Friday morning at 8:15 with the Stamp Ministry in the Stamp Room on the island, so come on out for that. At 8:30, our marketplace will be taking place in the administration courtyard, and they will be there until 11:30, so come on out for some fresh produce and other fun things. At 9 o'clock, the men's round robin doubles tennis is meeting at the tennis courts in the Woodlands. At 9:30, canasta and samba will be meeting in the game room at the Woodlands. In the Manatee Room, the Inquiring Minds will be meeting at 10:15. And also at 10:15, the Model Yacht Sailing Club will take place in the Commons Lake at the Woodlands. Bev, what's happening this afternoon?
Well, Jill, we're going to start at 12:30 with Mixed Progressive Bridge. That'll be in the game room at the Woodlands. At 1:15, we have advanced table tennis in the Tarpon Room. If you haven't seen them play, you should go down and watch them. They're pretty good. At 1:15, we have the Quilters in the Osprey Room. Vespers will be at the Arbor at 1:30. Bid Euchre will be played in the Sable Room at 2 o'clock. And then we have another Vespers at 2:30 in the Community Room of King's Crown. And we have a 3:30 Vespers at the Springs. 4:15 is the time for dinner and a movie at the Bell Tower Mall. Court pickups begin on the island at 4:15, 4:25 for the Woodlands, and 4:35 for Eagles Preserve residents. We're going to round out the night at 6:45 with game night at the Resident Activity Center. Always a good time. And here's Jill to tell you what's going on Saturday.
We're going to start our day at 8 o'clock with pickleball at the pickleball courts on the island. Also at 8 o'clock is the Round Robins doubles tennis at the tennis courts in the Woodlands. 9:30, the men's doubles tennis will play at the tennis courts, as well as the women's doubles. At 9:45, duplicate bridge in the Manatee Room on the island. At 10 o'clock, we have a special Life Quest group discussion, and that will be in the Grand Cypress Room in the Woodlands. 1 o'clock is chess in the Library Lounge at the Rack. 1:15 is Scrabble in the Library Lounge as well. Also at 1:15, table tennis down in the Tarpon Room on the island. At 3:15, basic line dancing will take place in the Health Club on the island. And we finish our day at 6:30 with duplicate bridge in the Manatee Room. Bev, what's going on Sunday?
Well, we're going to start at 9 o'clock with our morning worship service in the Grand Cypress Room at the Woodlands. And then at 11 o'clock, we have our morning worship service in the Grand Cypress Room at the Woodlands as well. But our 6:15 evening service will be at the Social Center on the island. Well, we wish you a very wonderful weekend, and we'll see you back here next week.
Menus for your weekend. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter on Friday is grilled mahi with marinated noodles and Asian slaw. The dinner special is the seafood buffet for $15.95, and the soup of the day is Manhattan clam chowder. In the Island Cafe for lunch on Friday, the special is a fish sandwich with coleslaw and chips for $7.25. The dinner special is Chef's Choice for $8.25. Dinner specials in the Palm Grill on Friday are lamb chops for $22.95 or Florida lobster tails also for $22.95. On Saturday, the Crystal Room is closed. In the Island Cafe for lunch on Saturday, the special is a meatball sub with fries for $7.25. The dinner special is stuffed bell peppers with mashed potatoes and green bean casserole for $8.25. The dinner special in the Palm Grill on Saturday is prime rib for $19.95. On Sunday, the Crystal Room features its Sunday brunch for $17.50. In the Island Cafe for lunch on Sunday, the special is a patty melt with onion rings for $7.25. The dinner special is Chef's Choice for $8.25. And the Palm Grill is closed on Sundays. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Welcome to Village Church Connections. Thank you for joining us today. I'm here with Pastor Randy Woods, our Minister of Worship and Music, and we are looking forward to Sunday services.
We are. Here it is, the end of August, just a week to go. But it's been a rich summer as we continue our study in the book of Hebrews with Pastor Andy, and another opportunity for us to gather Sunday morning to celebrate God's goodness and worship together.
Andy's been gone for a few weeks on vacation. We're happy to have him back. He's picking up the book of Hebrews and going forward. So
Yes.
What do we know about what he'll be sharing?
Well, he'll be talking about Christ, our great high priest, as we continue our studies in Hebrews chapter 5, verses 1 through 6. And as you read that text, and no doubt the title tells us quite a bit, as he's going to be sharing about who Christ is as he functions as the high priest on our behalf.
So folks may want to read that passage ahead of time and just
Sure.
be prepared for that.
Yeah, and as well, as we've done the last several weeks, Glenda, you've organized and we've enjoyed a time of fellowship between the services. The first at 9, the second 11, the same service both times. But we have some time in there that we've enjoyed fellowship and refreshments.
We do, and I think it's been a blessing to our folks. It's given opportunity to visit with each other that you might not normally have. And we've had a number of our people that have volunteered to just help supply refreshments,
some
and
really
they've
good
done a beautiful
goodies,
job.
Yes. That's fun. And I've enjoyed meeting some of the new people, as well as, like you said, just time to fellowship and catch up with folks that we don't see throughout the week.
Right.
On a daily basis.
Right. So we encourage folks to take advantage of that time.
So Sunday morning, services at 9 and 11 in the Grand Cypress Room. I invite you to come and be a part of that as we continue to worship on Sunday morning.
And then Sunday night, we're in the Social Center at 6:15 for our Sunday night services. It's been a little bit more informal, a little bit more interactive.
Yeah, his study, he's continuing, Pastor Andy's continuing this theme of Do You Love Me? And raising questions. And this week is going to be focusing on how is that love manifested? How do we display our love for Christ by the things that we say and do? And I know it's somewhat the inductive Bible study approach as we look at various scripture verses and have folks participate that way. And he's really done a great job in facilitating conversation and involvement with the congregation.
That's an important question for us to grapple with.
Oh, it is. And I'm sure he'll have other questions that will challenge our hearts as we worship together, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it will be a rich time, Sunday morning and then again Sunday night as we gather together. Looking forward to it.
Yes.
So thank you, Randy. Thank you for joining us today. We certainly invite you to be part of our service time Sunday morning at 9 or 11 in the Grand Cypress Room, Sunday night at 6:15 in the Social Center. Have a wonderful day.
And now we're going to replay some of the best of this week on Shell Point Today. We started out the week with Melody Desolé telling us about the furniture sale going on at the Shell Point thrift store.
Hi Shell Point, I'm Melody Desolé. I'm here at the Community Thrift Store in the Miners Shopping Plaza, and I'm here today not to tell you a story, but to tell you about a big sale that we have going on with all the furniture in the store. Can you imagine this beautiful dinette set in your apartment? With a 25% off sale, we would take over $100 off. You might want to consider this set for your place. Or how about a beautiful sectional couch? Or maybe you're looking for a new coffee table. Or maybe you're looking for something a little bit more unique. And if you can convince your husband that this is the right shade of bubblegum pink, then this could be yours today. Or maybe you're looking to store your beautiful plates that have been passed down through the generations. this would be the place to find something like that. Or maybe you're looking for something to refurbish. This desk is just the piece for that. It's got an excellent shell and great hardware, and with 25% off, it's a great deal. Now, if you're wondering what this unique piece is, so am I, but here's the good news, it's 25% off, so you can make it into whatever you'd like it to be. Now, if you're looking for a conversation piece, maybe these antique chairs would look perfect in your corner. And remember, Shell Point, this sale goes from today until August 23rd. So be sure to head over to your local community thrift store for the biggest furniture sale yet. Thank you for joining me, and we hope to see you out and about.
Director of Project Development Bob Southern is a collector who has had an awful lot to do with Shell Point's collection of buildings. He also shared with us one of his other collections, this one of sports memorabilia.
Born in Baltimore, Maryland. Spent the first 26 years of my life there. Left in 1979, came to Florida and started working for Shell Point. If you grew up in Baltimore in the era that I did, probably the first obsession was the Baltimore Colts. They started winning big in the late 50s and won the championship twice in 58 and 59. And Memorial Stadium at that time, they used to refer to it as the world's largest outdoor insane asylum. The fans were so fanatic. Loved that team and supported it tremendously. And so many of the players that were on that team have gone on to the Hall of Fame, and much beloved and much missed since they moved out of town. And I don't think many folks in the town have ever gotten over it, quite frankly. Back in those times, players were still, average people, and they were often around town. And a matter of fact, my uncle, who recently passed away, dined with a number of the Colts regularly. There was a place off of Ritchie Highway in South Baltimore called the 4100 Club. Johnny Unitas, Raymond Berry, and a lot of those folks would go there after games and have dinner and a beer, and that's where he would go after work. So I got a lot of autographs and photos from those guys from those times. So they were still just average Joes back then, and even though they were superstars and immensely popular, they still went out and hung out with people, and many of them had side jobs in the off season because they didn't make the kind of money back then that they make nowadays. I like the Football's Miracle Men book. That's about the 58 Colts that won the championship against the Giants, and that was often called the greatest game ever played for a long time. Orioles came to town in 1953. It was probably not until the early 60s that they started becoming a good team. Won the World Series first in 1966 and went 3 more times between 69 and 71, won it again in 83. Another obsession up there. And there was a player on each team that were like gods in Baltimore. It was Johnny Unitas with the Colts and Brooks Robinson with the Orioles, and folks worshiped them, and they were super players, super people, and stayed in and around the Baltimore area. Johnny Unitas until he passed away, and Brooks Robinson, as far as I know, is still up there, and still much revered when he comes out for events or seen in public. Memorial Stadium was my second home, I would say, when I was growing up, from my earliest times. And the Orioles was pretty easy to get tickets for. They rarely sold out, even sometimes in their championship years. So went to a lot of baseball games. You were taking a bus to get downtown to 33rd Street, where Memorial Stadium was, and went there with other kids. And one night was in the upper deck along the front rail, and Brooks Robinson hit a fly ball out, and I was actually able to get it. And as a 14-year-old, that's like somebody's handed you a big pot of gold, and I've still got it after all these years. So that's a very special thing to me, that because of who he was and the time and the fact that you got it, and it was 1967, so kind of a neat thing. The Orioles had their spring training for many, many years in Miami. And they actually had the Miami Orioles were a minor league team. In 1995, I actually went to what they call the Orioles fantasy camp back then. And went up and played a solid week of playing baseball. And you played with your childhood heroes. And Brooks Robinson was there, and Boog Powell, and Earl Weaver, and Paul Blair, and because I played third base as a kid, I was playing third base alongside Brooks Robinson and shagging grounders, and so it was one of those once-in-a-lifetime things to see those people in that environment. And my childhood hero outside of Brooks and Johnny was a ball player called Boog Powell, and he played first base for the Orioles. And I guess my dad died when I was young, and he reminded me a lot of my dad. He was a big guy. Obviously, you can see how big he was. Look at his hand on my shoulder, he was a very important part of the championship teams of the Orioles back then, and I think he was a league MVP in 1970. So it was a real thrill to see him there and get to talk to him a bit, and have a chance to play alongside somebody like Brooks Robinson was pretty special. I was a saver even as a kid, and I tended to keep things in good shape and would just put them away and save them, and that has served me well, and that they're still in excellent shape today, and very important to me.
Penny Modrich is one of our favorite technology gurus. She came by to offer a tech tip on the handy iPad tablet.
Hi, I'm Penny Modrich. I teach in T3, and here is today's tech tip. A new operating system, iOS 8, is coming in September and October. Changes and advances with the new operating system, iOS 8, will be significant. Updates to an operating system are critical. Sometimes they seem to change the entire look of your device. But remember, these changes have been made to improve and enhance your use of the device. Change can be good. Watch for it.
Robin Church of the Shell Point Salons told us a bit about the great facials they have to offer.
Hi, my name is Robin Church, and I'm the salon manager here at Shell Point. And today I'm just going to share with you a little bit about one of our specials that is in the August Life magazine. The BioLite skincare is if you buy the cleanser, toner, and moisturizer, you receive the mask for free. So that's a really, really great savings. It gives you a great opportunity to try this product line. This is the most effective product line that Reposage carries right now. It has some really wonderful natural ingredients that are really effective in making the skin have a smoother, more healthy appearance. One of them being watermelon, and the Gota Cola, and the Bella's Daisy. They also have their signature seaweeds within the product, and Matrexyl 3000, which is a very, very effective anti-aging ingredient, is also within this product. We also have a facial that is specifically designed around these products. It's called our BioLite facial. And of course, this month in August, we're introducing our signature Shell Point facial. So those are both two wonderful options. If you'd like to make an appointment, please call 489-8400, and the facials are all done at the Island Salon, which is Extension 1. Thanks, and have a great day.
Karen Anderson stopped by to tell us what has been happening with the Employee English Class Initiative.
I'm Karen Anderson. I'm the Vice President of Human Resources and Business Support here at Shell Point, and I'm really pleased to be here today to talk about a great initiative that's been taking place and is actually occurring for the second year in a row. We have 2 residents who have volunteered their time to offer classes in English as a second language for our employees. And those 2 residents, Eleanor Pease and Judy Kinsinger, have really done a great job of not only mobilizing the students, but of mobilizing resident volunteers to help teach as well. Recently, some managers and others from the leadership team were invited to have lunch with the students and also with the resident volunteers, and it was really meant as a learning process. We all got to sit down and just basically have lunch with the students and chat with them in English, and it's amazing to find out how much we all have in common. And we did a similar thing last year as part of the graduation ceremony for the English class, and Judy and Eleanor are planning another graduation at the end of this particular session. But it's been amazing to watch the development of these students, not only in their English skills but in their confidence level. This initiative, which we offer on company time, is something that benefits the residents in terms of the employees developing their communication skills in English. And again, it's been really amazing to see the confidence level in a lot of these students. Some of them are second-year students. The first year they had about a dozen students in this initiative, and this year they have just over 20. So it's really been a great program, and we're so thankful to Eleanor and Judy for all that they've done, and for the resident volunteers that they have recruited for the effort as well.
Judy and I both get very excited. We love the people, and you could see the demonstration of their love for us when we got those hugs, when they got their certificates, and when we see them as we go around the island and they know us and they can speak to us. We are passionate about it.
So I'm really pleased to be here to talk about this resident-led initiative, which has made a big difference to the employees that are involved, but also is a great benefit to the residents, and contributes to Shell Point's philosophy of caring for, serving, and satisfying residents and employees every day.
The resort services staff has had a few changes in the lineup recently. Mary Franklin brought her whole gang over to the studio to tell us all about it.
I'm Mary Franklin, the Resort Services and Wellness Manager here at Shell Point. And I am so proud to be standing with these 5 lovely employees. They all have some exciting news that we would like to share with you. And we're going to start off first with Tony Miller. Tony, how are you today?
Good.
Good. So Tony, you have been an activities coordinator with our department for several years, and in your role you were always helping out the thrift store. And as the thrift store has grown, now you have the opportunity to work full-time with them, with getting all of the donations from Shell Point to the thrift store, and also doing some research for those unique items. What are you most excited about on your new position at the thrift store?
I'm a big fan of Craigslist, and I've been using it for years, and this is a chance to utilize my skills as a bargain shopper, for lack of a better term. And also, I'm a big eBayer, so I'm also going to utilize those skills as well. And in general, I would say I'm a thrifty person, so I think Shell Point is going to benefit from my stinginess.
Well, good, good. Well, not that we can fill your shoes, but this is Dora Robbins, and Dora will be our new activities coordinator. Welcome to the team.
Thank you.
Now, you're new to the Resident Life Resort Services team, but you're not new to Shell Point, Dora. Tell us about how you got your start here at Shell Point.
Actually, when I started here, I started as a security guard. I went from security to a lead housekeeper, and then into this position.
Well, we're excited to have you transfer over. You have your CDL. You'll be driving the buses, taking the residents on the trips, and helping us with all of our big events. And you have experience. You've even driven those big passenger buses, right?
Yes, I have.
So Big Blue's like no big deal to you.
It's not that big.
No. Well, we are glad to have you on our team and get to know you a little bit more as we go along.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
All right. Well, Jill, you're making a big move too?
I am.
You went from one side of the room to the other side of the room.
That's right. I didn't move far at all.
Well, in the Resident Activity Center, you have moved and you are now going to be a program coordinator, planning all of our events in-house.
I was the administrative assistant at our church for a pastor for 13 years. I was basically his right-hand person, planning conferences that were huge conferences. People would gather from around the world. So
several hundred of people.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the planning and the putting the programs in place is something I've been doing for many years. And I'm just really excited to be able to use those skills here at Shell Point and still have close contact with the residents.
Well, good. We're excited about all the new programs coming up this year. Gabriella, welcome to the team.
Thank you.
Now you will be the new service desk coordinator, and we are looking forward to get to know you now, but you have had an interesting life. We're not going to start from when you were born, but tell us a little bit about where you were born and how you've made it to this point.
Well, thank you, Mary. I'm really excited to be here as well. And I was born and raised in Switzerland. And I started working for my government in Switzerland for the Foreign Service Department. And one of my posts was Washington, D.C. And while there, I met my husband, who is American, and I got hooked. And I stayed with...
It's those men.
Yeah, it's those men. We are here since about a year, and
well, we're lucky to have you, and I'm going to brag on you since you're not bragging on yourself. You're also a tennis pro, and you can speak fluently 3 languages and Spanish a little bit.
I do understand Spanish a little.
And what are the 3 languages that you can speak fluently?
Well, Schweizerdeutsch, Hochdeutsch, Italiano, e Francais.
Okay, and so hit it.
Sono molto contenta di essere qua e sono felicissima e spero di vedere tutta la gente qua e di conoscere tutti e sono felice di essere qua.
What she said. All right, we're moving right along to Liz. Liz.
Yes.
Now, you were with us in resident life as an on-call and helped us in anything that we needed. You were on call and you came in. And then you got a full-time job and you actually were at the administration offices. You were the gal who picked up the phone anytime anybody called the main number,
Yes,
right?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And how long were you in that position?
2 years.
All right. And then we stole you back.
Yes, you
Well,
did.
I'm sorry for them to lose you, but we're excited to have you back on our team. And you're our program coordinator, and you're working directly with Terry and Dawn, Terry Colath, Dawn Boren. And your focus, what are you focusing on?
Well, I'll be helping Terry with the academy and also with the auxiliary with the volunteers at the pavilion. And I'll be working with Dawn with all the concerts that we will be having. So there's a lot of variety and it's keeping me hopping.
Yes.
And I'm really enjoying it. I'm really happy to be in this department.
Well, that is wonderful. We're glad to have you back
Thank
with
you.
us and part of our team again. Well, Show Point residents, we've had a lot of changes in our department, but I hope that you agree with me. These are some wonderful changes. I'm glad to have seen some of our employees grow within our department and experience new opportunities. And for those that are new, have a chance to welcome them and learn from all of them, from their life experiences. We can all grow as well. So for Show Point, I'm Mary Franklin with a slew of wonderful new team members here at Show Point. Make sure to stop by their offices and say welcome to their new positions. Have a great day.
Resident Jane Haynes shared about volunteering with the Larson Pavilion Auxiliary.
Hello everyone, I'm Terry Colath and I'm here today with the first Vice President of the Pavilion Auxiliary. Her name is Jane Haynes of Lakewood. Thanks for joining me, Jane.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
It's a good time of year for us to talk about our membership because we've made it through summer, you know, all of our travelers, we've carried on without them, and now we're gearing up for fall. We've got some new things coming and we're ready to talk about some opportunities to serve, aren't we?
And we're always looking for new members, aren't we? Sure. For those that are gone during the summer and whatever, filling in. So.
Now, as first Vice President, what is your role?
I am trying to look for new members, and so we can staff all our 18 committees that we have. And it's kind of challenging at times.
And the way you do that is wonderful because you spend a lot of time talking with our chairman and co-chairman, giving them good support and figuring out, you know, what is the best way to increase the numbers in a committee. Not all of our committees need to increase. A lot of them are doing very, very well staff-wise, but some of them have a very big job, like our beverage cart.
Right.
Now, the beverage cart, when you think of two people at a time going on the first floor and on the third floor every morning, every afternoon. That's a lot of volunteers.
It surely is, right. And I don't think people need to be fearful of it because they're trained well. They know where to look for the people that need special juices or can't have juices. So they don't need to be fearful at all.
No. What they need to do is be interested in people, right?
Exactly.
Because you're giving a juice, but you're giving so much more.
You're giving a smiling face to them, I hope.
Yeah, that's true. Now another one of our committees that could just grow and grow and grow is activities.
True. And we have some wonderful people that are working with activities. Our activities people have been very busy. And the activities that you see going on are really fun. I feed I'm a dining companion on the second floor, and there's always something that the activities committee has just made that you can see.
Right.
So I know they're busy.
And then we have the wheelchair list. Let's talk a minute about that because that's something anybody can help with.
Exactly. We just need people that can push a wheelchair to take some of our residents to some of the activities. Shell Point's a very busy place, and there are a lot of activities that our residents could participate in if we had somebody to push them there.
Sure, like a holiday or a special event in the village church. If we could get everybody pushing our residents over from the pavilion at the same time, how nice that would be. Or the activities right in the building. Going to the dining room for a talk or music. So when you think of most of our people needing some help getting from one place to another, if you're comfortable pushing a wheelchair, we just put you on the list. We call you when there's an opportunity.
Exactly.
Now another thing that happens on activities, well, activities basically is anybody who enjoys doing something, if they want to share it with our pavilion, would be grateful. It might be going to give a talk that you gave in the academy. It might be going to, from the BD Club to help doing some beading. It also might be specific things like helping in our salon at the pavilion.
Right.
Let's talk about some other needs. Concierge, I see that concierge, you're first floor concierge?
First floor, yes.
What kinds of things do you do?
I get to make coffee. I get to go to the pantry if somebody needs some juice or if they need an ice cream or whatever. Take care of some flowers that have said bye-bye and need to be tossed or rearranged. I'm not good at rearranging, but you know.
Tossing is fine.
Tossing is fine. I can do that easily, right? And basically just go in and sometimes say, have you had anything that you need anybody to do for you? Do I need to take a book back to the library? Do I need to mail a card for you? What do I need to do to help you and just to make them have a good day?
Sure, because your first floor is rehab, so people are recovering from an illness or an injury or a surgery, those knee replacements, or boy, so you must feel really good once they've done the hard work and they're ready to go home.
After they've been to therapy, they come back, I just want to rest.
Oh yeah, it's hard work to get better. So you're encouragers too.
Try to be.
Now on our memory care unit, our concierge people, they're building really special relationships, aren't they?
Yes. That's a challenging place to be. I'm pretty much a people person, and my first experience was on second floor. And so I admire those people that can go in day after day, week after week.
And if you ask them why they do it, they say, oh, I get so much more out of it. It's wonderful. Right. So building relationships with people who are basically in the right now.
Yes.
Memory issues, and I'm here right now with you and having a great conversation.
That's right.
It's wonderful. Then our third floor, of course, is our skilled nursing floor. So our concierges there have different opportunities for people who live there on a regular basis, their final home at Shell Point, and making it special.
That's right, and hopefully that happens, and I'm sure it does.
Sure does. So we have a variety of, even within one building, we have a variety of ways to serve as a concierge.
For sure.
And there again, those 2-hour shifts, we can use a lot of people to make that happen. And they're very much appreciated. So Jane, there's just no end to it. And we, on the back page of our weekly reminder, we try to give little tips about what opportunities we have now. But we want people to know that coming to our orientation is a way to find out about these opportunities and more, or to give me a call.
Exactly.
So I'm Terry Kolath. Please give me a call if you'd like to find out anything about what Jane and I have talked about today, or if you have your own special offer you might consider bringing to the residents of our skilled nursing facility.
The Shell Point Concert Series lineup is laid out for you in the Concert Series brochure and also in the August issue of Shell Point Life magazine. Don Boren shared about what you can expect at some of the performances.
We are always excited to unveil our Fine and Performing Arts Concert Series, and this season is no exception. Hi, I'm Dawn Boren, Director of Resident Life for Shell Point. Every year we find new world-class musical performers from the worlds of Broadway, jazz, and popular music. This season, 5 unique concerts will showcase these talents right here at Shell Point. We begin in November with an evening of Broadway favorites. Behind the Mask will feature beloved songs from Andrew Lloyd Webber and others. Not just Phantom of the Opera, but also Evita, Sunset Boulevard, Cats, Chicago, A Chorus Line, Jersey Boys, and more. Singing actress Terry Hansen has received international recognition for her crossover abilities between opera and Broadway, and her co-star Nat Chandler has also enjoyed a storied career on the stage from Camelot to Kiss Me Kate. Spend an evening on Broadway with Behind the Mask, taking place on Thursday, November 20th. In January, we welcome one of the most famous big bands in the world. The Tommy Dorsey Orchestra is legendary for kick-starting the careers of Frank Sinatra, Nelson Riddle, and others. These sentimental gentlemen of swing will take you back to a time when the song was king. You'll hear favorites like I'm Getting Sentimental Over You, Marie, and their favorite, I'll Never Smile Again. Enjoy an evening of big band and smooth vocals with the Tommy Dorsey Orchestra on Friday, January 16th. You can't go wrong with the Close Harmony vocal group, and in February we will welcome the legendary trio The Lettermen. Since their founding in 1959, the Lettermen have exemplified the soft and romantic sounds of yesteryear. Their harmonies were all over radio and TV in the 1960s, and since then have recorded 32 top 40 albums and made more than 200 television appearances. Come hear the best in close harmony, romantic music making with the Lettermen performing on Monday, February 9th. Then it's a night of fabulous jazz. From a name you might recognize, Freddie Cole is the brother of the legendary Nat King Cole and has his own impressive body of work as a jazz singer and pianist. After graduating from Juilliard and the New England Conservatory, Freddie hit the road with his own jazz group, touring the world for the last 40 years. His warm, intimate, and elegant style perfectly highlights the polished brand of jazz you come to expect from the family name. It's a night of jazz with the Freddie Cole Quartet coming to Shell Point on Tuesday, March 10th. Our final performer has his own claim to fame. They call him the pianist to the presidents. David Osborne has performed for Presidents Carter, Reagan, Bush, Clinton, and Obama. Originally from Oklahoma, David became famous for his passionate and romantic playing, selling millions of CDs and making millions of fans. David and his trio perform across the country, and we are thrilled to welcome the prestigious pianist to Shell Point. The David Osborne Trio perform here at the Church Auditorium on Thursday, April 9th. That's our lineup for the latest season of the Fine and Performing Arts Concert Series at Shell Point. Each performance brings something special to the stage, so there's something for everyone throughout the year. And we've even held the line on ticket prices, presenting these world-class concerts for just $35 a ticket. And there's more ways to save if you choose our popular Pick 3 option. Choosing 3 of your favorite concerts, you save $15 off the normal cost of tickets. And you can save even more by choosing the season tickets of all 5 shows, giving you a savings of $50. Much of this is thanks to the generous support of our Friends of the Arts, residents and friends who care about keeping the arts alive at Shell Point. You can learn more about the Friends of the Arts in the Shell Point Concert Series brochure or on our website www.shellpoint.net/concerts. There, you'll always find information on other concert series, such as the Concert and Conversation series, featuring up-and-coming classical artists in the intimate setting of the Grand Cypress Room, and also the Southwest Florida Symphony series, hosting the best in orchestral music right here in our concert hall. We're also proud to announce that we're hosting the Barbary Coast Dixieland Band for a return performance after a sold-out show last year. Their special concert takes place on Tuesday, February 17th. For tickets are only $15. We hope to see you at all the wonderful concert events as we celebrate the arts here at Shell Point. The great thing about music is that it can be enjoyed in many different ways. Going to a concert with 1,000 other people certainly has its excitement, but there's something special about being in an intimate setting with just a smaller group of people, enjoying the best classical music from up-and-coming soloists. Hi, I'm Dawn Bourne, the Director of Resident Life here at Shell Point. I'm pleased to present the Concert and Conversation series, a Shell Point creation which brings the finest classical performances to the intimate setting of the Grand Cypress Room, allowing you to mingle with the artist after the performance. This year we have 4 concerts to tell you about. The first is in December, as we welcome trumpeter Mary Elizabeth Bowden. This amazing young trumpeter started college full-time at age 14 and graduated with a master's from the Yale School of Music. She has soloed in numerous orchestras across the country, including our own Naples Philharmonic. Behold the artistry, purity, and power of this amazing young woman, trumpeter Mary Elizabeth Bowden, coming to Shell Point on Tuesday, December 2nd. In January, a dynamic duo visits the Grand Cypress Room, pianist Richard Dowling and cellist Evan Drachman. Richard Dowling's piano repertoire includes everything from Chopin classics to Scott Joplin rags and Gershwin's musicals. Evan Drachman is the grandson of famous Russian cellist Grigor Pedagowsky and heads a foundation in his name to bring live classical music to as many people as possible. Expect an entertaining program when these two get together at Shell Point on Thursday, January 29th. In February, we welcome pianist Thomas Pandolfi to Shell Point to bring back what he calls as the golden age of pianism. Thomas is a Juilliard graduate whose repertoire stretches from the romanticism of Tchaikovsky and Chopin to more modern concerts, even throwing in a little Gershwin for good measure. You'll love the excitement this young pianist brings to his performances, which has thrilled audiences throughout Europe, as well as dozens of symphony orchestras right here in the USA. Don't miss the solo piano of Thomas Pandolfi on Thursday, February 26th. We end the season with the concert for string lovers featuring violinist Anna Serkovanik Anna has played violin since the age of 4. Since her early beginnings, she has performed in such far-flung places as Paris, Tokyo, and Hamburg, Germany. After coming to the United States, she has played in multiple trios and chamber groups, including at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. Enjoy some lovely sonatas and other classical favorites with violinist Anna Sukervanik performing on Monday, April 13th. That's our lineup for the Concert and Conversation series. All concerts take place in the Grand Cypress Room at the Woodlands, with the dessert hour following the show, so you can mingle up close and personal with the young artists. Seating is limited, so be sure to get your $25 ticket for the performance of your choice, or save money by purchasing all 4 concerts for just $80. Details about this and all the Shell Point concert series are available in the concert series brochure or online at www.shellpoint.net. Extra order forms are available at either service desk on the island or the Woodlands. Invite your family and friends to a wonderful night of classics with the Concert and Conversation series right here at Shell Point. It's a great privilege to have a symphony orchestra in our hometown, but it's even more of a privilege to welcome the orchestra to perform in the concert hall in our own backyard. Hi, I'm Dawn Boren, Director of Resident Life here at Shell Point. I'm thrilled to announce that the Southwest Florida Symphony Orchestra will be coming to Shell Point for 3 fabulous performances in the upcoming season. With top-notch professional musicians and new musical director Nur Kabarati, the Southwest Florida Symphony Orchestra is ready to bring the best in classical music to Shell Point. It all begins at Christmas time when Maestro Leith Beiland conducts the symphony in its annual Holiday Pops concert. The orchestra will celebrate the joys of December in Florida with a program called Christmas in Paradise, featuring the tunes like the Spanish favorite Feliz Navidad and the Hawaiian sing-along Mele Kalikimaka. So bring your family and friends to this tropical holiday pops concerts happening at Shell Point on Monday, December 15th. In January, we get to enjoy the trio of favorites, which they call simply classics. In the late 18th century, Vienna was the glittering musical capital of Europe. Please join us as we perform music by 3 of the biggest stars. Joseph Haydn, known as the father of the symphony, also was a prolific opera composer, and Armada is one of his most delightful overtures. Wolfgang Mozart, A Major Piano Concerto, is one of his greatest. The brilliant pianist Andrew Armstrong will portray this rich and emotional, complex work. For Beethoven's 4th Symphony, it begins with the same melodic outline as his legendary 5th, but the 2 symphonies are a world apart. There are no storm clouds here. The 4th, one of Beethoven's happiest creations, is brimming with fun and the joy of song and dance. Join us for Simply Classics on Tuesday, January 13th. And in March, the Symphony returns with another of its unique Discovery concerts. Not only will you hear a beautiful piece of music, but you'll learn the story behind the music and the history of the composer. This Discovery concert highlights Antonio Dvorak, who came to New York in 1892 from Czechoslovakia. His time with the New York Philharmonic led him to compose his 9th Symphony called From the New World. This concert is a multimedia experience with narration, images, and underscoring. Don't miss the Discovery Concert Dvorak's From the New World on Monday, March 16th. That's 3 opportunities to hear a symphony orchestra right here at Shell Point. And you'll also love the price. Just $20 allows you to see the orchestra in person. You can also save $8 by purchasing tickets for both the January and March performances for a total of only $32. Please note that the Christmas Pops concert in December is a standalone show for tickets, which are $25 each. Look for more information and the order form in the concert series brochure, available at either the Island or Woodlands service desk, or go online at www.shellpoint.net. We look forward to transforming the church auditorium into a classical musical recital hall as we continue to bring you the best in music here at Shell Point.
That's it for this week on Shell Point Today. We're glad you joined us for our program. Tune in again next week for more news and stories from around your community. Until then, this is Shell Point Today for the weekend of August 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. I'm Dan Philgreen, and from all of us here at Shell Point TV, we hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday.